Well, good morning. This is the Georgia Adventurer here. I'm going to do a follow-up review video on my Benchmade Bugout. I bought this Bugout back in February of 2020, right before COVID hit. So I was at a gun show, so I was walking around and there was a lady that had a pretty big table with knives, different knife brands and stuff. So she had this Bugout. She had this blue one. She had the green with the black blade, and I think an all black one. She had some different Benchmades, but so she had this one for 115, and she marked it down to 100. So I had been looking at this. Bugout, for a couple years, after it came out. Was interested in it. Never really picked it up, looked at it or anything. It just caught my eye. And I think one reason because of the blue and the shape of the handle and the shape of the blade. Plus, it's a Benchmade. So I figured, well, she came off of it to $100, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull the trigger on it. So I did. And I've been carrying it, like I said, a year and a half. And I'm gonna give, I'm gonna compare it to my three other carry knives I have, my EDC knives. And I use my knives pretty hard. Now I don't baton and do all that stuff with this. This is a it's a lightweight knife, so you got to keep that in perspective. It's not made to baton wood, or I have cleaned fish with it. I have cleaned game with it. So I do a lot of different things with it. I've used it for cooking, slicing up meat. I've sliced up onions or whatever. I use it in the field. I've even dug in the dirt with it. And I know that's probably abusing a little bit, but I do use my knives pretty hard. I'm not afraid to use them. So I just don't use it to cut open boxes. Yes, and I do like lanyards. So anyway, but this is my main EDC, and I'm gonna go over the reasons that I like this knife so much, and then I'm gonna compare it to three of my others that I do like too. But I'm gonna compare it to those, and the reason I carry this in most of the time. So I'll get with it. Sorry, man, my allergies are flaring up. The tree pollen is blooming pretty bad here in Georgia, so I've been battling these allergies, for a couple of weeks. But so with that said, I'm gonna start. One of the things I do like about this Benchmade Bugout, and it's the blade shape. This is probably my favorite blade shape. It's a good size. It's just a little bit, and I don't have all the measurements to this knife, but it's just a tad over 3 inches on the blade. It's S30V stainless steel, and I do like the stainless steel. And one of the reasons why is because I kayak fish, and I've kayak fished in the ocean before. I did last year, and I'm gonna do it this year. Rivers and lakes or whatever. So that's another reason I like having this stainless steel, and it holds a good edge. I do have to touch it up, once in a while, sharpening it. So, and it sharpens good, and I put a strop on it. But I use a oil stone. Sometimes I'll just use the little quick sharpeners on it. But I like the blade shape. And believe it or not, this blue handle caught my eye. I mean, I like blue. I like the blue handle. One of the reasons I like the blue handle is if I drop this in the woods, I can find it a lot easier than I would this green one, this green Benchmade. So this one blends in more, so I'd have a harder time finding it, just like this Civivi. So I like the blue. This knife weighs 1.89 ounces. It's the lightest knife that I have as far as carrying in my pocket with a pocket clip. One of the things I do like, and the reason I like that lightweight knife is when I'm kayaking and I have a pair of lightweight shorts on. This thing, you know, a knife like this one, this Benchmade Reptilian, you know, it's bigger than this Bugout. But this knife is almost 3 ounces. So it's a lot heavier. And you can tell when you have it in a pair of lightweight. It's not good for lightweight shorts. Good for jeans. But a pair of lightweight shorts, it's not good for that. This knife carries great in a pair of lightweight shorts. So when I'm fishing, this knife's on me, and it's a perfect knife for, you know, kayak fishing or whatever. I like the blue handle on it. I like the blade shape. I like the way it opens. Yeah, it's not a flipper like the Civivi. You know, this Civivi's a flipper. It flips out pretty easy, opens pretty quick. This one has this has a thumb stud, as you can see. Blue thumb stud. It's actually ambidextrous. You can change the pocket clip to this side, but it's got thumb studs on both sides of the blade, and it opens smooth. You know, and the blades, you know, closes good. I'm not a, you know, person I got to flip it out and show everybody, you know. So I just normally just open it, you know, just open it smooth and slow. That way I don't cut myself. But I like the axis lock on it. That's another good thing about it right here. The only really thing I wished maybe they would have done was, since this is a satin blade or a stainless blade, it maybe put the hardware to match, but it's fine. I like the black hardware. I hear a lot of people, the two complaints I hear from people, you know, and I don't get it, is one of the ones I hear is this, and you can see how thin the blade is, and I hadn't measured it. It looks like to be maybe 1/4 of an inch, but people say that you can, you know, the plastic gives a lot. But, you know, my thing is, I'm not going to walk around squeezing the handle like that. It doesn't make sense. I'm not going to be prying with this thing. I'm not going to do, you know, I'm not going to jack up my truck with it. You know, it's a cutting tool. The handle fits in my hand good. You know, I've got a medium size, you know, I wear 11 and a half inch ring. So, but I can get 4 fingers on it. Fits in my hand good. It's got the jimping right here, you know, and I like that. It's got a nice curve right here on the handle where my finger fit nice. The handle is thin, but it does fit good in my hand. It's not a big fat handle. You look at how thick this handle is compared to the Bugout. The Reptilian's pretty hefty. This is a heavier duty knife. The Reptilian, it's a heavy duty. It's got thumb studs also. This is a good knife though. This is a Benchmade, and it's a good knife. This is my first Benchmade, so it's been used hard. You can see all the scratches and stuff on the blade. I mean, this knife I've had it a while. It's been used hard. So the handle bending is one of the complaints you hear from all these purist, you know, knife guys on YouTube, but honestly, it doesn't bother me. I could care less. I like this knife. It carries well. Another thing that people complain about is, why do they call it the Bugout? Why didn't they call it the EDC knife? Why didn't they call it this? Why didn't they call it that? Sorry about that. Well, it might have been smarter to say, call it the EDC, Benchmade EDC knife. All the Bugout crowd, they've got their packs packed, and they're gonna bug out. If something happens, our society falls apart, they're gonna bug out. Okay, so you're gonna bug out. Me, I'm gonna stay at my home, and I'm gonna defend my home. I'm gonna stay here. So I do have an everyday carry bag I take with me. Just for my everyday chores. But yeah, it would have been EDC Benchmade EDC would have probably fit the knife better, because this is a good EDC knife. And I carry this basically most days, and I do swap out from time to time. I do like the pocket clip. I do like the size of the pocket clip. It's got the hardware, the little screws in it. You can tighten if you need to. I've tightened them. I don't tighten them much, but I check them every now and then. It's got an oversized lanyard hole, and compared to the Civivi here, you can see. But it's got an oversized lanyard hole, and I think that's a good design for this knife. Holds a fat piece of leather. So since I like lanyards, that was right up my alley. But like I said, it opens good, it carries good, and like I said, this knife, I know there's people that don't like them, but everybody's got their opinion. This is just my opinion, but I've had it a year and a half, and I like it. I've had it in my kayak, saltwater fishing. I've even had it in my pocket at the beach and in the ocean. I actually forgot it was in there. So it's had some exposure to salt water. And if you expose it to any kind of salt water, when you get back to your camp or whatever, I got back to my camper and I wiped it down, rinsed it off, and put a little oil on it, and it's good to go. So no rust, no problems. I keep it clean. I don't take it apart. I hadn't put a new handle. I see people putting new handles on them. Which that's good. That's up to them. I know the Benchmade Bugouts, I've seen some that's getting up excess of $200, and I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I would spend $200, even though it's a Benchmade. I'd spend $130. That's about what this knife's up to now. I'd spend $130 to replace it, because I look at this as this is a lifelong tool. Take care of it and don't use it for things it's not meant to be used for. It should last you a life. Should be a good hand-me-down. But this is a great knife, and I'm going to compare it here a little bit. And I'm not going to give any dimensions or any of the specs on these knives, but I've got a Civivi Elementum. And even though, I'm not crazy about the Chinese-made knives, I have to say, this is my second favorite EDC knife. This thing is well made, and I'm not going to do a big review on it. I'll do one later on, but just comparing it to the Benchmade Bugout, you can see the blade's a little shorter on the Civivi. This has micarta handles, which I do love micarta handles. If I was going to replace this blue handle, it would be with micarta. I like G10 too, but this has the olive green micarta. It's a great handle. It feels good in your hand. This handle is a little shorter. It's a little shorter than the Bugouts. So, I can still barely get this pinky wants to kind of hang off. This one has the jimping, but this one's heavier. I think this is a little over 2 ounces. If I can remember, I weighed it on my wife's scale. Another knife I carry. This is the BRK. This is a Jeff Randall Essie knife. He actually gave this to me. I was in one of the classes a few years ago, back in, I guess I was probably 55 years old or whatever. I'm 61 now, so it's been a few years back. I was in one of the classes, and he gave this to me. And so I've carried this a lot, you know, before I got the Benchmade. Another great EDC knife. This knife's made in Taiwan, but it, you know, it's got some good steel on it. It's stainless. I'm not sure exactly what steel it is. I can barely see it, but it's a good knife. It carries good too, but you can see comparing the size to the Benchmade, and this one's a little bit heavier than the Benchmade too. This one's pretty light. I was carrying this in kayaking. It's a good carry knife. It's a great EDC knife. Still like the Benchmade the best. The first Benchmade I bought was this Reptilian, and this is a hefty knife, and you can see how thicker the handle is of this knife. This knife's a lot bigger. You can see the size of it. Comparing the blades, it's a hefty knife. The blade's thicker. You can see it's got a longer pocket clip, and you see how beat up it is. I've carried this knife. I've had this knife for a while. I bought it way before this Benchmade. It was actually the only pocket clip knife I had. I had one years ago. It was a Smith & Wesson. Probably bought it 20 something years ago. Of course, it fell apart, and it wasn't a good knife at all. This is a good knife too. This is a little heavier duty, and this is a heavier knife. I think this weighs 2.85 ounces. You can see the blade. This isn't my favorite blade shape, but you can see I had this In God We Trust, or God Bless America, I'm sorry, laser cut at the blade show. Sorry about that. At the blade show, I don't know, about 3 years ago, I had it on me, maybe 4 years ago, and they did a free engraving on it, which, you know, I love Benchmade. But this is a good heavy duty knife. You can do harder chores with this one. You know, this one though, honestly, it's my favorite. This Civivi, this blade shape on this one I do really like it. I do really like the blade shape on it. And I like the blade shape on this BRK. Benchmade Bugout, blue handle. And I know there's people that don't like them. I'm not worried about the handle bending. I've had it a year and a half. It's been a great knife. It's my EDC knife, my daily carry. I do swap it out with these other ones from time to time. I've been carrying this and some. I've put this one through some tough chores. You can see some of the scratches. It's just a good knife. And would I buy another one? Absolutely. If I lost this one today, I will order me another one tomorrow. I would order another, and I'd order the same exact one in the blue handle. Really no complaints, honestly. You know, maybe, you know, if I could pick, I'd have the silver colored hardware on it, but otherwise, really no complaints on this knife. It's just a good knife, man. It's a good knife, despite of the plastic handle bending, like people say. But I'm not gonna walk around bending it. You know, I'm just not. I'm gonna get it in my hand, cut it, fits good in my hand. So Benchmade Bugout, and I spend a lot of time in the outdoors. You know, I use it on my contracting job from time to time. I've dug a little dirt out, trying to find a transformer lock. Yeah, I shouldn't do it. It dulls it, but I just sharpen it right back. So I try to put my knife through the rigors, you know, and kind of see what they'll do. Very satisfied with it. Would I recommend it? Yes, I would. I would recommend it. You know, if you're looking for a good lightweight knife, if you're looking for a good lightweight knife to wear in the summertime with your shorts, this is it. You know, the Bugout name, I don't care either way. You know, yeah, they could have named it the EDC, the Benchmade EDC, or the Benchmade backpacker, or whatever. I've backpacked. You know, I still hike. Even though I'm 61, I still hike a lot. I go mushroom hunting and stuff, and hiking. My wife goes with me, so I always take this with me because it's lightweight, especially in the summertime. So I would recommend this knife. Give it a try. And that's my video. Anyway, I'm gonna sign off. God bless you. If you like this video, leave me a comment. If you don't like the knife, leave a comment and tell me why. If you like it, if you got some good experiences with it, comment. Subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to make more videos. And hit the bell. That way you'll know when a new video comes out. So Benchmade Bugout, I recommend it. God bless you. Have a great day and be safe out there. Thanks.